Yesterday, this is celebrating obviously the 5th Champions League title, the most successful British player ever in this competition. Do you have a problem with this?
I half want to think it's intended to wind people up,
right? And
it's doing a very good job. So if that's what he's intended to do and is working as well, then why should I?
Has he got every right to celebrate this?
Listen, he's an employee.
Yes, but this season, this season, yes. And I'll tell you why. When Real Madrid won the league, he made a point of saying, well, I didn't join in the celebrations. Because he didn't feel, you know, for whatever reason.
He said he had a bad back and couldn't get out of bed.
Okay. He didn't join in the celebrations. I feel...
He didn't know, just if he'd taken his belt off.
My
experience, as you well know.
But I have a problem with him not making the effort to be a part of those celebrations, to then, okay, he's on the bench here, but to gloat about it in this manner.
Look,
why are you looking at me like that?
I'm not quite sure I get your point.
My point is, if you aren't a part of the team, then don't
hitch your wagon to it now.
Correct.
Well, maybe he was. I mean, he was there. He was stripped, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, he was on the bench. I accept that.
I mean,
but as I said, I think this is winding people up.
I didn't expect him to come on, but he may have done. He may have come on and had to have played a part. So he's there. Look, do I think it's been the best tactic over the last 24 months to do what he's been doing and say what he's been saying and have some of the actions or non-actions? No, I don't. But we mustn't forget, and you mentioned it, the most successful British player. The guy's been a hell of a player. The guy is,
but he didn't contribute to this title.
That's the difference. Was Eden Hazard allowed to celebrate in some sense? I presume he was.
Eden Hazard did celebrate. Well, you can have exactly the same.
Now, Eden Hazard has had... Eden Hazard is signed at this club as the next Galactico and has done nothing. Whenever he leaves, if that doesn't change, he'll leave as somebody that basically went in there and didn't even lay a glove on the Real Madrid history. Gareth Bale, whether we agree or disagree with some of his actions over the last couple of years and the quotes, has been involved in some of the most iconic moments in recent years. The goal in the Copa del Rey final where he was 20 yards off the pitch, it looked like, and ran around a player at the Bernabeu and finished it off. The overhead kick in the Champions League final. There's been many of them. At least Gareth Bale has been in there and produced and has been part of these moments. If we're looking at scapegoats here, and we're not, essentially because Real Madrid won, you're looking at Eden Hazard.
I suppose to counter that argument is that Eden Hazard doesn't go to Belgium and then turn into...
Eden Hazard is still a bit of a talisman at Belgium.
No, he's not.
No, my disappointment...
Belgium have a stronger supporting cast, much stronger than Wales. So when he goes to Wales, Gareth Bale, and I'm not saying it's right, but I'm telling you fact, he's the big I am at Wales. The biggest I am at Wales.
Yes.
Not so much he turns it on, it's the fact he's the go-to guy.
Yeah, but he pulled out the Classico 5 days before the Wales game because he knew that was more important.
Yes, I don't agree with that.
He's prioritising that. Eden Hazard doesn't have that.
I don't agree with that. And it goes back to my point. I don't agree with a lot of the things that he's done. It still doesn't take away what he's achieved in the good times at Real Madrid. I don't agree with not playing in games, and I saw something recently with Edison Cavani at Man United and a qualifier for Uruguay. And somebody else in the show, I can't remember who it was, saying, well, it's very important. I get it. We've played international football. But your employer comes first, right? And I saw it recently with Cavani, who was kind of half-hearted with a United manager who was struggling, with a United team who was struggling. And so players sometimes do that. It doesn't make it right, and I don't personally agree with it. But that's what Gareth Bale has done to tarnish his reputation with some Real Madrid fans, or all Real Madrid fans, and in Spain in general. But it will never take away some of the great successes he has had at that football club.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.